So Capstone for every student, this is one of the rallying cries of the Trinity Education experience. We're very passionate about the idea that every single student gets to engage in meaningful research as part of their education experience. Research is really at the heart of Trinity, of who we are. It's reflected in lots of different strategic documents that we produce all the time. The recent research charter, one of our mandates is to position research at the heart of Trinity. So we're really excited about the fact that we can say that every single Trinity student that graduates from Trinity will have the opportunity to engage in meaningful research. And not only that, the Capstone is a fantastic way to both develop and to showcase the Trinity graduate attributes that we've been hearing so much about this evening. So acting responsibly, thinking independently, communicating effectively, and developing continuously. All of these come into many of the Capstone projects. So we're very energized and excited about having a Capstone for every single student in Trinity. So what is it? Definition. The definition is quite technical, but it has to achieve a number of things. First of all, to explain how Capstone fits in to the architecture and the structure of every person's degree course. Secondly, to explain what we mean by a student research project. And thirdly, to ensure that it's broad enough that we take into account that research happens in lots of different diverse ways across the university in different disciplines. So here's the definition, and we'll unpack it a little bit in the next slide. So the Capstone Project, though defined differently by different subjects, is the common element across all degree exit routes and is weighted at 20 ECTS. It requires a significant level of independent research by the student. It should be an integrative exercise that allows students to showcase skills and knowledge which they've developed across a range of subject areas and across their 4 years of study. It should result in the production of a significant piece of original work by the student. As I mentioned, in a couple of minutes, we'll actually be seeing a significant piece of individual work that's been created during a Capstone project. So some of the key features then are listed here. It does, as we've said, cap off the Trinity Education experience, so it usually happens in final year. It's the common element of all courses. As I mentioned, key to us is that every single student can leave Trinity having said that they've been able to engage in a meaningful research project. So no matter what you're studying in Trinity, if at all possible, you will be doing a research project in final year. It's significant. It's 20 ECTSs, so it's a third of your final year marks, so it counts for quite a bit. It's subject specific. There's a list in a couple of minutes of just the diversity of different types of capstones that we're talking about here, but specific to your subject. But the key thing is that it's original work, and it's independent research. So students get to engage in real research that's independent and original. It's supervised as well, so the role of the supervisor will vary depending on the subject, but they will have a significant role in directing the student and setting up the project and helping the student to land in a good way, as it were, by the end. But also, we encourage as much as possible student input on the choice of topic. So in some cases, this would be where a number of research projects are presented to a class and students can choose which one they want to do, or in other cases, it could be that the student themselves comes up with the research hypothesis through engaging with their lecturers and puts the project together themselves. So that's an important aspect of it as well. It's student-led as much as possible. And although many capstones will be collaborative in nature, so sometimes it's group work, they are each assessed as an individual student effort. So they're set up in such a way that an individual student can be assessed for their contribution, even if it is a group type of research project. As I mentioned, one of the great things about capstone is it really has a chance for the students to showcase their graduate attributes and to further develop them as well. So it's a common element in all courses, but it has really diverse expressions. And of course, depending on your own journey and discipline, where you came from, you probably have in your mind a very specific idea about what a capstone project would look like. And they're very diverse. Many of us would think about a dissertation, so a significant piece of scholarly work that's based on research that a student will have done in a library or through quantitative or qualitative surveys or things like that. And so that's a key one that's used in many disciplines. In the sciences, in particular in engineering, it could be a lab-based research project. So the students could be hands-on, addressing a research question through using experimental techniques, just like working alongside PhD students, for example, in a lab. It could be a dissertation with practice. It could be a recital, a composition, a performance even, a case study, field work with analysis of that field work. It could be the development of a new product or a new piece of software. So these are just some examples of the current capstones that are on offer in Trinity. You can see they're diverse, but the common element is that they're all research-based projects. And there are huge benefits to students in fulfilling these capstone projects. One of the key ones is it gets to showcase their learning and development to date. So some students, they will really spread their wings and start to fly during their research project. Some will maybe lack that confidence and just get through it. But for every student, they can leave and say, we've done a significant research project. And for those that do fly, sometimes we see incredibly impressive results and things coming out of the capstone projects. So the students get to work independently. And for some of them, it's the first real decent chunk of time where they can go off on their own and think about their subject. And it's very exciting for many of them. And there's the possibility to contribute meaningfully to the subject. There are lots of examples in Trinity where undergraduate research projects have actually been part of significant breakthroughs in different disciplines and different areas. So that's exciting for the students as well. And they get to work alongside a Trinity academic staff member, or perhaps a number of staff members. They may be working in a research group with professional scientists, PhD students, and also collaborating with different supervisors as well. So suddenly the teachers actually become the collaborators, and the students really appreciate and enjoy that as well. There's lots and lots of evidence that degrees that offer research projects mean that students leave in a much more employable manner. We continuously in the sciences, for example, our external examiners will tell us that they're so pleased that we can still offer meaningful research projects to our students, because in many universities that's now impossible because of resources being constrained. So it's something that we really feel is an important aspect to maintain in our degrees. And clearly as well, many students are much better prepared for further study or for a research career. Many students only decide during their capstone project if they want to pursue a career in research, so it's a great indicator as well of their interests, future interests. And clearly, for all these reasons and more, it really does add value to the Trinity degree. So as I mentioned, Capstone for Every Student is our rallying cry. We're passionate about that, and we're delighted that we can say from next year that every single student will get to do a capstone project. Now, that's the end, I think, yeah. So much more interestingly now than listening to me, we're going to have a live demonstration of the capstone project. So Aoife's going to come now. And Aoife graduated last year. She's a graduate of Creative Arts, and she's going to speak about her capstone project. So she was a senior soft student last year. She got a first-class honour for her project. The project has won various awards as well. I was talking to her beforehand. And it's an interactive music technology performance on how an audience reacts to sound. So I'm going to hand over now to Aoife. Thanks, Aoife.